Hello and welcome to today's video. Now this is actually a video I did not want to make, but I thought I've had such a bad experience with this company just lately, I had to share it. And a lot of the viewers of my channel use this particular courier company a lot, not just in the UK, but particularly in America, where I know I've got a huge audience. And we're all book lovers and we all ship toys and we all use UPS, which is the courier in question. And I've just had an absolute nightmare of an experience with them just lately, and that is what I'm going to tell you about today. So sit back, relax, and let me tell you what's happened. So I was contacted by a friend of mine over in America, and he was looking to buy a few magazines off me. In total, it was about 20 magazines, which I said, yeah, absolutely fine. No problem sending them to the States. I've used UPS a lot over the years. Literally for 20 or 30 years, I must have been using UPS. Last year alone, I must have sent 3 or 4 parcels through them, all without incident. It's been absolutely fine. So I got the magazines together. They all fitted in one box, not a massive box, but quite heavy. It was over 11 kilos. I weighed it, went on the UPS website, got him a quote, which came out at £68. Told him how much it was going to be. He paid, and that was it. So I went onto the UPS website, as I've done countless times before, filled in all the information very carefully, his address details, what was in it, the magazines, how much they were worth, everything, return address, the full details, everything you could possibly imagine, the dimensions of the box, everything was filled out. And I paid, but when I came to checkout, it was £74 odd. And I thought that's a bit weird, but okay, I paid for insurance, so that was a little bit extra, so that was fine. I wanted the parcel insured. So it said, here are your forms, you can print them here and or we'll email them to you. So I clicked email them to me, which I did, and but I also printed them out online. But I had that backup of the PDF to show the forms that I'd been asked to print out. So I'd filled it all out, printed out the forms, parceled up the magazines and took photos of it right the way across the process, just to let the buyer know what to expect when they get to his end. The collection was arranged for UPS like the next day, and they turned up. Now, it said when I printed out the forms to print 3 copies out, sign them all, but make sure that your driver signs one and gives it back to you. So when the driver turned up, I said, right, here's the parcel, here's the paperwork. You have to sign one of these and give it back to me. He said, no, I don't. I said, well, that's what it said. He said, well, I don't. I said, okay, all right. Well, I'm taking one back, and these are the 2 copies for yourself. Fine. Off he walked, the driver. About 10-15 minutes later, he came back with a copy of the form, which I've still got, signed. So he has signed it. Okay. Didn't hear anything for a couple of days. It was in the system that night, and I thought, great, yeah, it's on its way. Let the buyer know, here's the tracking number, everything's looking good. A day or 2 went by, and then it said, there's a problem with your delivery, and you need to contact us. So what I'm going to do now, I'm actually going to read the timetable of events from the tracking shipment document. So it was picked up on the 18th of January. And it got to the depot. So I live in Plymouth, and my nearest UPS depot is in Exeter. So it got to Exeter and was scanned in at 6:48 on the 18th of January. Okay. Now at 8:24 it says, we're sorry, your package was delayed. We're adjusting delivery plans as quickly as possible. The next day, so the next day after pickup, on the 19th, but in the evening, so a whole 24 hours had gone by. And in the evening at 10 to 8, the next, so a day after it had been sent, a missing commercial invoice is causing a delay. We're currently waiting for information from the sender. So I thought, oh no, what's gone wrong? So I thought, oh, well, it's a Friday night, so I'm going to be in a bit of a situation here, because I know, unfortunately, historically, UPS just don't really work at the weekends. It's a bit of an odd situation. It's a bit old-fashioned, I would say, these days, particularly for someone like the Royal Mail, or even delivering on a Sunday sometimes. So I thought, well, what shall I do? So there is a helpline number. But I tried initially to look up the Exeter depot, because I knew that's where the parcel had gone. And if you look up any of the depots online, even if you know the exact addresses, all you get is like a national helpline number. And I thought, well, this is no good. So I thought, well, I'll just jump online. So I went on to their online chat, which is 24 hours a day. Obviously, it's an automatic robot. And then if you want to actually speak to someone, unfortunately, you're out of luck. It just said phone the number. So eventually, through, after spending about an hour on it, I managed to get to speak to somebody by doing it on my phone. And they were obviously, it sounded like they were based in America, in all honesty, but I don't know where they were. They weren't familiar, obviously, with where I live. I said, you're in Plymouth, not from around here, so fair enough. But I don't think they were based in the UK. And he said, don't worry, I've escalated it. I can see what we need to do. Someone will call you later today. And that was like on the Saturday. So, well, fair enough. Hopefully that's exactly what's going to happen. Needless to say, I didn't get any sort of callback. So I thought, well, what can I do? I can't phone the depot. There's no address to sort of send the documents in. They're supposed to contact me. Well, it says on the tracking form that we're waiting for information from the sender. Now, they've got my email address. They've got my phone number. No one from the depot has actually had the sense to say, drop me an email and say, oh, we need the commercial invoice, which is what was missing. So I thought, well, I'll just jump on their Twitter. So on the same night, I wrote on their Twitter, hello, I need to provide custom clearance information on a parcel that was collected a few days ago, and I gave them the tracking number. I've used the virtual chat last night without luck, called this morning and was promised a call back, nothing so far. My parcel sits in the Exeter depot and there's no way to contact them direct. I just need to supply a customs form. All details about the parcel were filled in when I placed the order online. Please, can you help? I then gave my mobile number, my email address, which is preferred. I said, there seems to be no way to go online and add the details. So the shipment's gone. It's sat in Exeter. They're missing this commercial invoice and there's no way to go on and do it. So I got a generic reply. Hi, thanks for reaching out. This is automated but very helpful reply. To find a quick answer to your question, check out the UK support link. You can ship, track and find answers to the most common questions. If you need more help, reply to this message with your tracking number, phone number, address and email. All of that was in the thing beforehand. So I then basically did the entire same message again and I added in my address. Hi Jules, we're sorry to read this. You'll be able to find this document with the following link. Now, they sent me a link and it wasn't actually to a form that I could fill in. It just explained what was actually required. I then had to go online, find my own commercial invoice, fill it in, which I did, even though the information, all of that was filled in when I actually created the shipments. So I then got back to them. I said, okay, thanks. I've now filled in the commercial invoice. Can I just email this to the Exeter depot? If so, do you have their email address, please? Thanks again for your help. So they got back to me. They said, once you've filled out the invoice, you may let us know. We can notify the local office to verify the options to send the invoice, since there is no specific email at this moment. Okay, thanks. I'm at work till late tonight, so we'll complete in the morning. Shall I give you a shout when completed then? That's fine. However, social media customer service is available Monday through Friday. Apologies. So I said, all right, is there no other way to get the completed form to the Exeter depot where the parcel is over the weekend? I apologise for the inconvenience. Our customer service channels are closed over the weekend. If the package moves from Exeter and arrives at customs, you can send the commercial invoice to, and then they gave me an email address. I said, thank you, I'll keep an eye on it. And she said, you're welcome, have a nice weekend. So another day goes by and sadly it's just sat there. So I wrote to them again. Nobody's contacted me from Exeter at all. I've not had any phone calls back. It says, hi, I've now completed the commercial invoice for the parcel that was collected Tuesday last week. So it's the following week now. Please can you advise how I can now get this parcel to the Exeter depot? Can they just be emailed? Just to be clear, all the information was filled in when I created the shipment, but when it came time to print off the forms, it was just the normal address labels, which I printed off in triplicate. My driver said nothing at the time. He actually refused to sign one copy and gave it back to me, then came back 10 minutes later with a signed one. That's what I just said. I do also have his name. Now, in the past, the UPS driver has checked my documents and even provided a plastic wallet for the said forms. Not this guy. Anyway, I just want the completed form to get to my parcel and get it on its way after almost a week's delay. Appreciate your help, Jules. Jules, thank you for contacting us. In this case, you may email the commercial invoice to the email previously provided. So I said, okay, thank you. Forms have been sent to the email address provided on Saturday. No response yet. This is on Monday. Is there any way I can email forms to the Exeter depot where the parcel has been sitting since last Tuesday? Thanks. Thank you for sending the information as requested. I'm sorry for their delay in replying. Can you please share a copy of the invoice? I'll make sure it gets to the Exeter depot team. So I then scanned the invoice, sent a copy up to them, it's all completed, sent a copy to their Twitter account. And I put, thank you, hope that gets there okay. I will pass it on to them and they will email you to confirm that they've received it. Thank you. Another day goes by. So it's now been an entire week. It's been 7 days. So I wrote to the Twitter account again. I said, hi, I've not heard anything yet back from the Exeter depot to confirm receipt. Is there anything else I can do? I'm at home today. If they would rather collect paper copies, appreciate all your help. Morning there, Jules. I sent them the copy that you provided and sent a reminder today. I apologise for the delay. So at this point, it's quite obvious that the customer service and the Twitter team are doing everything that they possibly can to match the forms that I filled in and sent to the parcel that's been sat in Exeter for now a week, and the Exeter UPS depot is doing nothing. Even they're not getting a reply. It's pathetic, literally pathetic. When they're sending UPS delivery vans to Plymouth on a daily basis, probably 3 or 4 vans at the very minimum are coming to Plymouth. I've got the forms filled in. They've been filled in since the day after, yet there's no way to get them there without me actually physically driving to the depot and giving it to them. And even then, I wouldn't be guaranteed that the actual forms would get to the parcel. Anyway, so it says... So she said, I've sent them a reminder today. Apologies for the delay. I said, no problem. Thank you. I really do appreciate your help. And I do. Fingers crossed the paperwork and the parcel meet up today. You're welcome. We're sorry for the delay in processing it. So on the Wednesday, just gone, I had a missed delivery note from UPS. They were trying to deliver a parcel to me. Didn't actually have a tracking number. Didn't say what the reason was, just that we tried to deliver it, and we'll try again tomorrow. So the next day, sadly, I was at work, but my wife and daughter were there. So I left them all the customs, all the commercial invoice information printed out, a picture of the parcel with everything duplicated, ready to give to the driver and say, look, don't redeliver it. Here's everything you need. Just take it back to the depot and get it on its way. The driver turned up, and well, this is what I wrote on Twitter to their customer service. Can you believe that the parcel has been returned to my home address? I had all the paperwork printed out to see if it could just be sent back, but the driver said he knew nothing about it, so we've taken the parcel back in. I mean, what can I do now? The parcel has basically taken about 10 days to travel from Plymouth to Exeter and back, an 80-mile round trip. So can I get my money back? That was £74 that I paid for it, or is there a way to just send it again, this time with the correct documents attached? Obviously, I don't want to pay again. What a disaster. Hoping you can help. This has been so stressful. And on top of the £74, I've been charged 2 separate £3.95s. I got charged again yesterday when they redelivered the parcel. So I'm now in for £82 sending this parcel, which has basically gone up the motorway to Exeter and come back down to me. So they did reply. They said, hi Jules, I'm sorry to read that despite our best efforts, the team sent the package back. We are profoundly sorry for the inconvenience, and I've already forwarded your feedback to the depot so that they can help us with this. Your escalation cases, and they give me a case number, in which I explained the situation. They're going to email you within an hour. So they did email me within an hour, and it was quite a short email with the case number there. It said, good afternoon. We are writing in regards to your incorrectly returned shipment with the tracking number. Unfortunately, we cannot determine the issue without looking at it physically. If you could send the invoice to your local depot representative who will be able to assist further, please forward to, and it gives me an email address, which I'm assuming is an actual person in Exeter. Sorry for any inconvenience caused. So within the hour of sending that, so she was right, the Twitter lady, it took about 30-40 minutes and I had that email through. I then sent an email to the email address provided. This was Thursday afternoon. And this is what I wrote. Hello there. So this is to the address that they sent. So this is, I'm assuming, someone actually at Exeter. Hello there. I sent this parcel last week. It was collected, but was missing the customs clearance information, like a commercial invoice. Through Twitter, I was able to send this information off and they emailed it onto the Exeter depot. Alas, the documents never made it to the actual parcel and this has been returned today. I even had physical copies ready to hand to the driver, but he just shrugged his shoulders and said, I just have to drop this back to you. Now, I've been contacting customer services pretty much daily about the issue without success. I've had no contact from the depot. Full info on the tracking information. Basically, it's been picked up in Plymouth, gone to Exeter for a week, then come back to me. Please, can we arrange for a collection tomorrow to resolve this and get it on its way to the USA? I've used UPS a lot in the past. I really hope we can resolve this issue. Once again, with my address, phone number and email address. Now, that was sent Thursday afternoon. No reply that day. All of Friday went by, which is yesterday, as I film this. Not a dicky bird from the depot at all. So once again, I'm highlighting this now. Literally, there's been no response from the actual depot at all. Literally, stone cold silence, even from their own team. So I then go on at the end of Friday. This is it. I've sort of had enough. They've not contacted me. So on the commercial, the customer service team on Twitter messaged the person, said, hi, yeah. I emailed the depot immediately that you sent me their email address, but haven't had a reply. I'm afraid I've lost confidence in UPS, and to add insult to injury, they've now charged me an additional $3.95 through PayPal without any explanation, which they have. This has now happened twice, as I've previously explained. So can you now advise how I can claim back the almost £80 I paid for the parcel to basically do an 80-mile round trip over 10 days? I paid through PayPal and I do not wish any more charges to be raised, especially without any authorization. I'm so sorry it's come to this. The recipient of the parcel has given up all hope of receiving it through UPS, as have I, quite sadly. You and the Twitter team have been great, and they have. They've really tried to help, but the depot and the delivery driver in particular have been, well, shocking. I then mentioned that I run a successful YouTube channel and that I've kept extensive notes and pictures of the entire saga, which I always do because these sort of things occasionally happen over the years. And I said that I'll be filming this very video over the weekend, but before it gets published, and bear in mind, giving them a couple of days notice, it would be at least good to have resolved the issue and actually get a refund back on what I've paid. Needless to say, I've had no reply to that one on Twitter. The first time, in actual fact, they've been silent. I've had to put a claim in with PayPal, and I've had to provide all the documentation, all the correspondence that we've just gone through, the entire Twitter feedback has all been placed, and I've put my claim in for with PayPal for a service that I've paid over £80 for that has just not been provided. Now, I am fully aware, and possibly in UPS's defence, that because the Royal Mail have been hit with the cyber attack, Royal Mail in the UK have not been able to accept virtually any parcels to go overseas, with the exception of ones which were tracked and signed delivery. So it's probably meant that UPS, Every, the old Hermes, DHL, all those other, Parcel Force Worldwide, all those other companies have had masses more business this week, and they've probably been snowed under with other, full-size businesses looking for alternative ways to get parcels to America or around the world. That's fine, but that's also not my fault. And there's a system that's clearly in place here that is not working. So even if UPS's own customer support cannot get hold of one of their own depots, that's just literally appalling. I do vaguely remember about 20 years ago, I had a similar sort of issue, and I just looked up the UPS depot's number and I just gave them a call, and it was resolved within 5 minutes. In the past, the UPS drivers have been incredibly helpful. I print off all my documents. I said, look, I haven't got a plastic envelope. Don't worry about that. We'll stick one on in the van. It's not a problem at all. The most helpful people you could possibly imagine. Something has obviously changed. And, well, the service has just gone, well, I don't want to swear on my channel because it's not that sort of channel. But I believe in calling out bad service. And this has been appalling. Absolutely appalling. So I'm sorry, but you've had long enough to resolve this. I believe in good customer service, but if I receive bad customer service, believe me, I'm going to tell people about it. Now, UPS, this is a little message for you. So on YouTube here, I've got 20,000 subscribers, okay? Over on Instagram, where I'll also be posting this link to this video, I've got just under 30,000 subscribers. Twitter, Facebook, a couple more thousand there. So that's 52,000 potential people who are going to be watching this video, or at least they're going to know that something's gone wrong. Now, I'm actively encouraging anyone who watches this to please share this video absolutely as wide as you can throughout all your social media. So UPS may be completely silent on the issue, but we are not. And I know that a lot of the people who follow me and who are my friends and subscribers on across all my social media, we use courier companies a lot. We like to buy books, we like to buy toys, we buy a lot of stuff, and we use the mail a lot. And I want people to know that the appalling service that I've had with this particular depot and branch of UPS in the UK, it has been really, really bad. And I think the only way to let people know about it is to do things like this. Now, I've also got lots of friends who work in television, particularly at the BBC, and I know that there are programs like Watchdog, for example. I know people who work on that. If you guys want to get hold of me, you've got my email address. We're friends on Facebook. Just reach out. I'll be more than happy to provide all this documentation for you, and we can make this go national. Because believe me, when bad service like this goes along, and I feel like I've been utterly ripped off, which I do, I'm not going to take that lightly, okay? You've had your chance. I've been beyond polite with it, but there comes a time when you just have to draw a line in the sand and say enough is enough. So UPS, I just expect a refund from you. I do not expect you to come knocking at my door begging to send this parcel. I don't expect it. It's going to go a different way now. Both myself and the person in America, my friend, we've both given up complete faith in you. It's a shame, but there you go. So I'll keep you posted, guys. So it's a bit of an ongoing saga. If I get a happy resolution, I'll put up a little YouTube short and say, this has been resolved. UPS did the right thing. They gave me my money back, and I've got a little apology, and I'll take the video down, job done. But if I don't, this is going to go on, and I will keep you updated on the saga. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. It's one of those things that I think you should be aware of. It's very, very rare for me to make this sort of video, but I just won't sit lightly and just let this sort of thing carry on. It's just not in my nature. So there you go. Normal service will be resumed tomorrow. Until then, have a good weekend. Bye.